Вчора теж за вами їздили фактично цілий день.
I'm fully clean under Ukrainian law, certainly. What Ukrainian government might try to do, though, is to do the trick with extradition to Georgia on charges that no country in the world recognizes, including Ukraine itself, because Ukraine had refused in the past to recognize those charges because Ukraine said rightly so that they are politically motivated. Those charges were initiated on initiative of Vladimir Putin and Russian government by pro-Russian oligarch in Georgia that clearly came to won parliamentary elections on a mandate to start cases against me as ordered by Putin. If Ukrainian president decides to go ahead with Georgian charges against me, that means that he first tried to get rid of his political opponent through lifting his citizenship, and then he used absolutely politically motivated charges. I'm a leader of political party in Ukraine, as we're certainly planning to take part in parliamentary elections whenever they are. The way how I see is to create and facilitate conditions for new political class to emerge in Ukraine. We need new people. Ukrainians are fed up with old, corrupt political class. They want new people, new energy, new faces, new ideas. Towards the day biking. Until the moment when reforms were good just for obtaining praise and money from the West without ruining their power base, they were perfectly happy with the reform. As soon as the reforms came into conflict with their own entrenched corrupt interests, then they lost taste and desire to reform. And that was the fundamental turning point. It's such a big contrast between huge potential of Ukraine and deliverables of the last 25 years that the situation is almost tragic. I think the situation can be rescued, but it needs a huge consolidation of internal forces and also support from the West for domestic reform forces in Ukraine. That's very important, not to allow oligarchs to get away with imitation of the reform just because there is war in this country. Ukraine, in order to contain Russia, needs to be better than Russia. When I was crossing the border into Ukraine, I had lots of Georgian fans as well, because there are many people that really hope that I do the same thing one day in Georgia. Well, I had my 2 successful presidential terms in Georgia. I thought I needed a break and my people needed a break for me. I see that Ukraine's and Georgia's fates are intertwined. Without successful Ukraine, I don't see successful Georgia. So once we are successful in Ukraine, I will be more than happy to, to find some spare time and go and help my compatriots in Georgia, political forces that work with me in Georgia. I see myself as inter-country regional leader, and those countries are connected, and that's why I don't divide those 2 agendas from each other. In my case, they cannot even claim I did it because...
Ой, настолько